What if I told you that an average person could earn their first 10 million in just 7 years? What's your gut reaction? Do you think I'm delusional? Do you think I'm just hyping you up, or worse, preparing to sell you some fake guru course? Are you already hovering over the skip button? Stop, don't move, take that finger off the screen, and just listen for a second. If your immediate thought was, that's impossible, or he's full of it, I have a hard truth to share with you. It's exactly that subconscious I can't, I don't deserve it, and it's impossible mindset that keeps you pinned to the bottom of the economic ladder. You think 10 million is an astronomical number because you're still thinking about wealth through the lens of trading time for money. You think 7 years is too short because you've never actually installed the wealthy OS in your brain. The book I'm talking about today spent 110 consecutive weeks at #1 in Germany, sold over 10 million copies worldwide, and is considered the Bible of wealth for the average person. It's called The Road to Financial Freedom by Bodo Schäfer, a man known as the European Warren Buffett. But this guy's start was rougher than yours. At 26, he was bankrupt, buried in debt, and struggling just to eat. Then, he did one thing that changed everything. He didn't just pick up extra shifts or grind at a side hustle. He completely rebuilt his mindset toward money. The result? In just 4 years, by age 30, he was debt-free and had earned his first 10 million using the exact methods in this book. From that point on, he lived a life of luxury purely on the interest. Look guys, this isn't some get-rich-quick gimmick filled with cheap shortcuts. This is a raw, blunt, and honestly, a slightly painful owner's manual for your money. Bodo Schäfer drops a truth bomb in this book that's worth a fortune because it flips common sense on its head. There is no such thing as a miracle for getting rich. Building wealth is a birthright that belongs to every single one of us. If you're broke right now, it's not because you're lazy or not working hard enough. It's because your money software is outdated, and honestly, it's full of glitches. In this video, I'm not here to lecture you with vague theories. I've stripped this book down to 5 wealth codes that you can execute immediately, even if you're barely making $2,000 a month right now. It doesn't matter if you're drowning in debt or just stuck in a dead-end job. If you have the patience to watch these 10 minutes to the end, this could be the most important mental shift of your entire life. Ready to upgrade your brain? Take a deep breath. Let's go. Concept 1. Your money only changes when you change. Let's start with the first concept. Right at the beginning, Schäfer drops a brutal truth bomb. The reason most people stay broke is that they're too comfortable playing the victim. Think about it. When your income is low, you blame your cheap boss or the dying industry. You blame your parents for not leaving you an inheritance, or you blame the terrible economy. You put yourself in the victim's seat, convinced that external factors are the reason you're poor. But my friend, I want you to remember this one life-changing quote from the book. When you give away the blame, you give away the power. When you complain about your boss, you're basically saying, my boss controls my destiny. When you complain about the economy, you're saying, that environment decides whether or not I get to eat. You've handed over the steering wheel of your life to someone else. Then you sit in the passenger seat and cry, wondering why the car ended up in a ditch. Bodo Schäfer says that if you want financial freedom, the first step isn't studying stock charts. It's taking 100% responsibility for your life. What does 100% mean? It means even if a rock falls from the sky and hits you, you ask yourself, why didn't I bring an umbrella? Why wasn't I wearing armor? The book features a classic concept called the circle of control. There are 2 types of things in life: things you can't control, like the weather, stock market swings, or your boss's mood, and things you can control, like your work ethic, what you learn after hours, and how much you save. Poor people obsess over what they can't control and end up feeling powerless. Wealthy people double down on what they can control, constantly expanding their circle of influence. So, starting today, quit complaining. Your current financial status is just the sum total of all your past choices. If you want to be rich in the future, you must accept that you have the power to change things, even if it starts with saving just $1 a day. Concept 2. Don't kill the goose that lays the golden eggs. All right, now that we've got your mindset right, let's talk execution.
The reason most people can't save money is that they don't understand the logic of the goose and the golden egg. Bodo Schäfer tells a story in the book. Once upon a time, a farmer discovered that his goose laid a solid gold egg every single day. The farmer was thrilled. Thanks to those golden eggs, his life kept getting better and better. But the farmer got greedy. He thought, there must be a pile of gold inside this goose. Why should I wait for just one egg a day? So he killed the goose and cut it open, only to find it was completely empty inside. The goose was dead, the eggs were gone, and the farmer ended up broke again. You might hear that and think the farmer was an idiot. But the truth is, 99% of people are doing the exact same thing in real life. The goose is your capital. The golden eggs are the interest or passive income that capital generates. Look at how you spend your money. You work your tail off all month, get your paycheck, that's your capital. Then you immediately go out and buy the new iPhone, a fancy dinner, or upgrade your car. What did you just do? You killed the goose. You took capital that could have worked for you and turned it into a consumer good. And what is a consumer good? It's something that starts losing value the second you buy it. Schäfer's ironclad rule is this: if you want financial freedom, you have to raise a goose. No matter how much you make, even if it's only $2,000 a month, you must save 10% to 20% of your income. This money is your goose. Unless you are literally starving to death, you do not touch it. Most people say, I don't make enough to save. I'll start once I earn more. Wrong. Dead wrong. Saving is a habit, it's not a math problem. If you can't save $200 when you're making $2,000, you will never save $2,000 when you're making $20,000. Because your desires will always expand to match your income, that's the famous Parkinson's law. Without a reservoir, even the heaviest rain will eventually soak into the sand, leaving you with absolutely nothing. Without a reservoir, even the heaviest rain will eventually soak into the sand, leaving you with absolutely nothing.
Concept 3. The counterintuitive strategy for debt. I can already hear some of you lighting up the comments right now. Easy for you to say, I'm drowning in debt over here. My credit cards are maxed out. How am I supposed to feed a goose? Hold on. Bodo Schäfer himself literally climbed out from under a mountain of debt. His strategy for handling debt is going to completely flip everything you've been told. Usually, we think that if we're in debt, every spare cent should go toward paying it off. Debt-free is the goal, right? But Schäfer says, absolutely do not do that. Why? Because if you throw every single penny you earn into that bottomless pit of debt, you are going to be miserable. Your subconscious will start to believe that working equals paying debt, and debt equals pain. You'll lose your drive for wealth. You'll end up burnt out and exhausted. And eventually, you'll probably just throw in the towel and give up entirely. He introduces the 50-50 rule. Take every extra dollar you have left at the end of the month and split it in half. 50% goes toward paying off your debt, and the other 50% goes straight into your goose, your savings. Now, I know what you're thinking. That makes zero sense. My debt has high interest, and my savings account pays next to nothing. I'm losing money, but this goes back to what we said at the start. Wealth building is psychology, not math. When you watch that savings account grow from 0 to 1,000, then to 10,000, you'll start to feel a sense of control and hope that you haven't felt in years. You're seeing your goose grow. That positive feedback loop is exactly what's going to motivate you to go out and earn even more. See, the goal isn't just to be debt-free. The goal is to be wealthy. Those are two completely different things. If you obsess over your debt, you'll just sink deeper into the hole. But if you focus on building wealth, that's how you actually climb out. Concept 4. The truth about income and the expert strategy. Now that you have your capital, you need to make it grow faster, which means you have to boost your earning power. A lot of people work incredibly hard, but their income never moves. Why? Schäfer points out a hard truth. In this society, you aren't paid for how hard you sweat. You're paid for how scarce your skills are. If you're doing a job that anyone can learn in 3 days, you are doomed to the minimum wage trap. If you want a high income, you have to shift your identity from being a generalist to becoming an expert. What is an expert? An expert is someone who is irreplaceable in a specific niche. The book gives a great example. Who earns more? a general practitioner, or a top cardiac surgeon. It's always the specialist. You have to ask yourself, what is my core advantage? What problem can I solve that no one else can? And here's a painful reality about making money. Stop focusing on your rights and start focusing on your value. Most employees spend their day thinking, when is my boss giving me a raise? Or, I'm entitled to my weekends off. But the wealthy mindset asks, how can I create 10 times the profit for this company? Because if you do that, and your boss won't give you a raise, you can walk out the door and get a higher paying job instantly. Schäfer suggests you don't just settle for the 9 to 5. While others are relaxing, you should be building your expert authority, writing, speaking, and networking. Don't be a mediocre jack of all trades. Be the king of your specific niche. Concept 5, the 3 stages of freedom. Finally, let's talk about the dream, financial freedom. Most people get this completely wrong. They think they need $100 million to be free. But a goal that massive just scares you off before you even start. Bodo Schäfer breaks this process down into 3 concrete stages. Stage 1, financial protection. This is your survival fund. Calculate your absolute minimum monthly expenses, rent, food, insurance. Let's say it's $3,000. You need to save 6 to 12 months of that. That's your runway. This money stays in a secure, liquid account that you can access instantly. With this cushion, you aren't afraid of losing your job or getting sick. When your boss makes a ridiculous demand, you finally have the power to say no. This is the baseline for your dignity. Stage 2, financial security. This is the sleep soundly money. You need to build enough capital so the interest alone covers your basic lifestyle. Pay attention. The interest covers the basics. If you spend $3,000 a month, that's $36,000 a year. At an 8% annual return, you need $450,000 in capital. Once you have that, you won't starve even if you never work again. That's when you truly escape survival mode. Stage 3, financial freedom. This is the ultimate dream. Now the interest covers not just the basics, but your dream life, travel, luxury cars, the big house. This takes more time and the power of compound interest. But once you've climbed the first 2 stages, the third is just a matter of time. See, financial freedom isn't some $100 million pipe dream. It starts with saving 6 months of expenses. Now, for the execution. We've talked a lot of theory, but without action, it's all useless. As Schäfer says, knowledge isn't power. The application of knowledge is power. I've prepared 3 immediate actions for you. No matter your age or your bank balance, you must do these. Action 1. Cut up your credit cards and start a minimalist week. If you can't control your spending, lock your cards away right now. Or better yet, cut them up. For the next 7 days, try going cash only or setting a strict spending limit. When you track your spending, don't just list numbers. Categorize them into needs versus wants. That latte is a want. Groceries are a need. Cut out all the wants, and you'll realize you don't actually need that much money to live a great life. Every penny you save is feed for your goose. Action 2. Open a magic account. Open your banking app right now and create a new sub-account or get a separate card. Name it your Freedom Fund. Then, set up an automated transfer. Set it for the day after your paycheck hits. Not the end of the month, the day after. Automatically move 20% of your income into that account. Then, forget it exists. Unless there's a nuclear war or you're literally starving, do not touch that money. It is the seed for your future. Action 3. Find a wealth mentor. Bodo Schäfer turned his life around because he found a billionaire mentor. You might not have a billionaire next door, but that's okay. Follow the people who have already achieved the results you want. Read their books, listen to their talks, and distance yourself from the friends who do nothing but complain and overspend. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you want to be rich, change your circle, or at least change the information you're feeding your brain. All right, guys. After finishing this book, my biggest takeaway wasn't actually about the money. It was about freedom, maybe. But more importantly, money gives you the single most valuable thing in life, the power of choice. When you have money, You don't have to bow down to people you despise just to pay the bills. When you have money, you can protect your family and give them the best medical care when they need it most. When you have money, you can spend your time on things that actually matter, instead of wasting your youth on a soul-crushing assembly line. At the end of the book, Schäfer says, if you just try, you will never succeed. You must make a firm decision. People say talking about money is shallow. But let me tell you, when you don't master your money masters you. That's what's truly shallow. That's the helplessness of being crushed by the weight of life. True integrity is mastering money so that you can not only live well yourself, but use that wealth to help others and change the world. My friend, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now. The best time to start feeding your golden goose is today. Don't let poverty limit your imagination, and don't let laziness bury your talent. If this video gave you even a spark of inspiration, please hit the like button, save it, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this. Thanks for watching.